views and opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect those of Access Fort Wayne, the Allen County Public Library, or any other supporting groups. If you'd like to produce a show, call us at 260-421-1250.
Hi everyone, welcome to Countyline, the public access television program featuring news and information about Allen County government. I'm Mike Green, the Public Information Officer in the Allen County Commissioner's Office. And we come to you this time from Matea County Park, right by the start of the Raccoon Trail. You know, this trail and several other natural areas and parks available here in Allen County for folks to get a lot of exercise, recreational opportunities. And it's led to the formation of a program here in Allen County that's just started. And we're going to talk a little bit about that today with Bob Dispenza. Bob is Park and Education Manager here at Matea Park. And tell us, Bob, about this new hiking program that started here in Allen County.
Well, there's a number of resource management agencies in the county, park districts, and private organizations that would like to get people in Fort Wayne out to their properties to see what kind of natural areas they have around here. And Fort Wayne people could always use another venue for exercise. And so we thought we would band together as a group and try and offer both those, a chance for people to get out to places they might not have been before, and a chance to get some exercise, and a chance to earn something in the process. And so there's a bunch of us all got together and said, let's try something that's worked in other places. We'll see how well it does here.
And Bob, the name of this organization that's formed now is?
It's called Allen County Trailblazers, and it is a coalition between Allen County Parks, Fort Wayne City Parks, New Haven Parks, Little River Wetland Project, Acres Land Trust, and Fort Wayne Trails.
And what's the ultimate goal of this program? We'd
like to get people to get a little reward for coming out and hiking. We've put together a list of 15 trails, and people hiking 10 of those, after they finish those 10, can get a little tag to stick on a hiking stick like this one, and they can purchase a hiking stick for a minimal amount to put it on. If we get more sponsors, then it means more free things for people. As it is now, this is what we can give them at this point.
And it's how much for the walking stick?
Well, hiking sticks are about $2, so it's not much.
And also a medallion that you're giving away to folks who complete. Is it the entire course or certain parts of the course?
Only 10 of the trails. They get to pick which 10 of the 15 they would like to do. And if it's someplace near them or it fits their exercise ability, because some of the trails are a little hillier than others, things like that, then they can pick the trails that are their favorites, hike them. They can either have a staff person from that organization sign their form, or they can, when they do find someone, as long as they put the date on the form that they hiked, we'll trust them and sign their form for them, and they can come in and get their award almost any time after the program starts. It starts at September 1st and goes to the end of November, and people can finish it at their leisure during that time period and collect their reward anytime after they finished.
Now, we mentioned Raccoon Trail here at Matea. What are some of the other trails that within Allen County's park system that folks might be interested in trying out?
There's a loop down at Fox Island that involves part of the upper and lower dune trails and some of the entrance trail in there. That's the only other one we have on the list from Allen County Parks, but there's several from Acres, several from Fort Wayne City Parks and New Haven Parks and Little Rivers, and even some Fort Wayne trails.
And you've got a website designed, I believe, that folks can check out so they can find out more information.
The website is allencountytrailblazers.org. It's still under construction, but if they want information, they can go to Facebook and find Allen County Trailblazers on Facebook. That is up, and that gives information, and if they like us, then any updates that we put on that page will automatically go to their Facebook.
And sponsors are helping to underwrite this, and as always, of course, I'm sure you could always use more help in that regard.
So far, we have Friends of Matea and Fox Island Alliance who have contributed to that. We're always looking for more organizations who'd like to associate with a program like this, and depending on the level that they contribute, we can tack them onto a publicity at various levels.
And if there's any private business out there that would also like to be involved in this, you wouldn't turn them away either, I don't imagine.
They're more than welcome.
Okay. Hey, while we've got a minute or two, tell us a little bit about another event that you're going to have coming up soon that we've talked about on a previous show, and that's the Neat Bike Ride.
That's the first Saturday in October usually, and that's what it is this year. And we have several different routes people can take. We have a 20, a 40, and a 60-mile route, which go out to various parts of northern Allen and southern DeKalb County. And usually it's a very nice day. Depends on, it's very weather dependent, but we offer a really nice lunch afterwards and snack stops along the way where they can fill their water bottles and grab a quick snack, and a banana and a granola bar. And a good family event, and people can pick their distance. If they don't want to go really long, they don't have to.
Right. There's options available, like you said, 20, 40, 60 mile, depending on how well you bike and how well you can keep up with folks. And it's not meant as a race or anything like that.
It's just a tour. We're not racing. People can get forms from some of the bike shops locally. They can get them from our website at allencountyparks.org and download it and fill it out there. And you get a little break if you sign up early. But some people like to wait and see what the weather's going to do, and they'll pay a little bit extra for that, but that's the way it works.
Okay, Bob, well, we appreciate your time, and you folks are interested in the Allen County Trailblazer program that involves the hiking, or if you'd like to know more about the Neat Bike Tour, you can contact Bob Dispenza here at Mattea County Park. Look for him on the web at allencountyparks.org. Each month on Countyline, we try to take you inside one of county government departments and talk to one of the elected officials so you can find out a little bit more about what that department does. And with us today is Al Freisinger. He is the Allen County Surveyor. Al, we appreciate you taking time to talk to us.
Thank you very much, Mike. I appreciate being here.
Now, this is how many years now that you've served as surveyor?
14 as Allen County Surveyor.
So that means you're in your fourth term.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about your background. You were explaining to me before we started recording that this is kind of work is what you've been doing pretty much all your life.
Yes, very much so. I was pretty fortunate as a young man to realize that I probably wasn't necessary to go to college right away, and joined the Army to be in the military, but signed up to be a surveyor in the United States Army in 1969, and had the opportunity to do a lot of schooling in the United States Army with the Army Corps of Engineers, and had a pretty good tour of service from 1969 to 1972.
And after that, you went and you did go to college and got your degree, and the next thing you know, you're working both public and private sector.
Right. I was that little stint in the military made me understand that I did need to go to college and get that particular educational background that was required to become a professional land surveyor. So I did my 4 years and graduated from Purdue, and went beyond that. Worked private and public for basically, like you said, the rest of my life, or throughout my life. Got registered as a professional land surveyor in the state of Indiana, and really have been doing land surveying, engineering, and construction all my life.
Okay, so when myself or anyone else in the general public, when they think of surveying, they think of one guy on one end holding the stick, the other guy on the other end looking through the little scope to figure things out. From a public surveying perspective, what are you folks doing out in the field when you're doing that kind of work?
Well, there's two sets of criteria that have been developed over time. One is it's called plane surveying, which is your vertical and horizontal networks of monumentation. So when you're looking through the scope, you're either setting a line or making a determination of elevation above or below sea level. Fortunately or unfortunately, in the last 40 years, that's changed a lot, where those determinations of line of sight and vertical measuring have been relegated to the global positioning system that gives us a artificial set of what I want to call satellites that we receive signals from and measure back down to our position on the Earth. It hasn't completely replaced the plane surveying attitude, but it is one that is out there that's made the acquisition of data a lot easier. A lot more data can be acquired, and it's been a real change. Like I say, from 1969 till today, that's a major move. We had in the military what was called a plane table, a measuring device that sat on a tripod with a 24 by 36 inch board, and you'd actually draw your map in the field as you were measuring with this alidade. Very time-consuming process. So today's attitude is a lot better.
So if I come to your office, you're going to be able to tell me through the work that you're doing out in the field, my property boundary lines, where they exist and how they relate to those around me. Is that pretty much it?
Well, no. As a professional land surveyor, I can do that. As county surveyor, we establish what's called the sectionalized land system under the public land survey system as it was set forth in the Land Act of 1785. The boundaries that we set out are those of the sectionalized land system. The private land surveyors, through their work, offer up those services to establish boundary. I've had a lot of questions over the years about wanting to come out and do boundary work for private individuals as the county surveyor. That's not necessarily our ilk. Now, I do some work, for the county as we progress through our acquisitions and so on, but generally that's private land surveying.
Okay. So from a public surveying standpoint, what's the main aim of going out and surveying these different townships and areas in Allen County?
We reestablish and perpetuate the locations of the sectionalized land system and the various Indian Reserve lines that are inside of Allen County. Those are then used as the monumentation under law for the private land surveying firms and businesses around town. That basically establishes your land rights as defined by your deed and as set out by professional land surveyors.
And with Allen County being the largest geographical county in Indiana, and the law stating that you have to go out and do at least 5% of the county every year, that must take a little bit of work on you and your staff's part.
Oh, most assuredly. We have, I have a crew that is well equipped and pursues this either upon request by a private landowner or by land surveyor or developers, contractors. We work very intricately with the state on remonumentation. But yes, it keeps us hopping because something I didn't mention, when we reestablish a position or a point, it is generally set with a cast iron monument called a Harrison marker. So you have to position the location and then go back and core drill and set the monument in concrete. So it's a little bit of work, plus the tie posts. So.
Now, another area that your office is involved in is stormwater management within the county and drainage issues. You have to deal with those kind of things.
Yes. As the county surveyor, generally under Indiana Drainage Code, the surveyor is the technical authority on drainage throughout the county on regulated drains, and it's also extended into the obstruction of mutual drains and natural surface water courses. So in that vein, as county surveyor, we review all plats, all development plans, all housing developments, anything that goes on that changes the texture of the land with stormwater discharge. That's been extended into the water quality side as Allen County was relegated back in 2000 to be a Phase 2 community and offer up a water quality element also to the state and through the Indiana Department of Environmental Management and the EPA. So we actually have our own NPDES, National Pollution Discharge Elimination Systems permit that is, countywide We have co-permittees with Leo Cedarville and Huntertown, but we operate the system for water quality also. Under the water quantity side, as I said, we do plat review, we do development plan review, like Parkview is a big player right now, making a lot of changes in that quadrant of the county. There's been a lot of stormwater issues that come forward relative to stormwater detention, improvement of the outfall systems that exist. New road construction creates a lot of runoff itself. So every one of those is looked at through this office. Beyond that, we step out and do maintenance on regulated drains, which equates to doing bottom dipping on channels, reconstruction of drains, construction of new drains where there were none constructed before for controlling stormwater runoff. When we go out into a farm community, agricultural community, and 20 homes are built, the runoff characteristics from that site are tremendously different. The addition of a home, a barn, a driveway, a pond, a septic system is pretty typical on a meets and bounds type parcel. Well, the runoff from that site is different, is greater than it would have been before. Not more water, but faster. So the inundation to a channel or to a stormwater drain, an agricultural drain that might be 110, 120 years old is tremendous. So that inundation can create a problem with the new development. By and large, if you've got 20 meets and bounds parcels, they weren't done by one individual developer. It was probably 20 individuals. So there's no cohesive unit like you'd have in a subdivision where you'd have a covenant and restriction package tied to the plat. So it becomes more intricate trying to deal with that number of people, whether it's 20 or 200. Through my office, we develop engineering plans for reconstruction of those types of drainage systems, and then schedule and hold public hearing for those systems through the Drainage Board, which consists of the 3 commissioners, county commissioners, and myself as the technical authority. It is a very intricate element to go through and do the engineering design, come up with an engineering estimate, have the hearing, and listen to commentary from the property owners. If it is moved through satisfactorily, have the meet all the requirements for hearing and judicial review, build the system, take bids and build the system, go to final change order, and hopefully have it work. Usually we've always been pretty successful.
And it sounds like you have a lot of interaction with some of the other county government departments looking at these different plans and developments.
Oh, most assuredly. By statute, I sit on the Plan Commission and serve as the president of the Plan Commission right now. The look at being on Plan Commission keeps me intricately involved with all plans that are brought through the Plan Commission. I think that's the reason the state legislature said, gee, we ought to have county surveyor in every county tied into whatever planning department they have. So we deal with the planning department on a very intricate basis relative to what's brought in, how it's going to be reviewed, what the implications are, and it serves the public very well, I think, to have that particular attitude. Obviously, we're doing assessments on drains on real property, so we deal with, the auditor and the assessor relative to taxing. Well, it's not really a tax; it's an assessment on a drain, but it's on your tax bill. So we deal intricately with them on the issuance of tax bills and making sure that everyone in the watershed is equally represented based on their ownership or the type of property they have. And deal with the recorder, because every plat that I sign gets recorded. Every deed that he records brings some money back to me for Cornerstone perpetuation. So we have a fund for that through the recorder. So yes, we, as you saw, the county councilman was in here early. I deal with them.
And people should know, if they need to come to your office, you have relocated now over to Citizen Square here on the 3rd floor, and things going well here in the new location.
Very well, yes. I kind of remember sitting on Santa Claus's lap here many years ago, but I don't remember where it was exactly. But yeah, this is it's a nice facility. It's nice to have nice new clean paint and carpet.
And you're as we talked about the working with other departments, you're in a little more of a centralized location here, so you can people can move freely pretty much between your office and anywhere else they need to go relative to their plans.
Oh, yes, most surely. We interact also with the building department and the county highway, and we interact very closely with the city of Fort Wayne on virtually any drainage system that is discharging to a regulated drain. So we have a very good working relationship with the city of Fort Wayne and with obviously the building department and the highway. So it's interesting. I spent a lot of years in the other building, and it's a good change. I'm always up for that.
Well, Al, I appreciate your time. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you very much, Mike.
Okay. And just a reminder, if you need more information about services provided by the Surveyor's Office, you can go to our website, www.allencounty.us. Look under Property and Tax, and you'll find the Surveyor's Office. The Allen County Solid Waste Management District has a number of programs that take place year-round to help you with recycling items or disposing of hazardous items. And two of their biggest events are coming up shortly this year. And joining us right now, Austin Carpenter and Stacy Hubbard, who are both with the Solid Waste Management District. And Austin, let's start with you because your event that you're going to be talking about will be coming up first, and that's Tox-Away Day. Tell us a little about that.
Well, it's just a day. It's really just the one day where residents here in Allen County can bring any kind of household cleaners, oil-based paints, yard, stuff, anything like that. And we actually have some examples up here. Toilet bowl cleaner. There's spray cans, motor oil, gas, propane tanks, that kind of stuff we take.
And you take them in the containers, obviously.
Yes, we prefer them to definitely be in the containers.
Now, when is Tox-Away Day?
This year it's September 10th.
And what are the hours?
9 to 2:30.
Okay. Is there a fee involved for this?
It's $5 for up to 10 gallons of material or 50 pounds of dry material.
Now, I'm sure people are saying, where will it be taking place? But as we're recording this right now, you can't really say.
Right. We always release the location 2 weeks before the event. We advertise very heavily through newspaper, radio, television.
And part of the reason is because some people try to get a head start of sorts.
Right. Yeah, and we'll also have the location up on our website too, which is acwastewatcher.org.
Okay. These are some of the things that people can bring. Mm-hmm. What are some of the things people should not be bringing?
What they shouldn't bring is latex paint. I think that's always a big thing we get every year. But latex paint, you can just air dry it, or you can put some kind of absorbent in there and just dry it out, and then you can just set it out with the regular trash. Some other things we don't take are like explosives, ammunitions, radioactive material, but that's pretty much it. If it says, toxic or flammable or anything like that, we'll take it.
And as you said, this is the one day folks can do this.
This is it. This is the one day for these kinds of things. We have year-round programs for motor oil with hires and antifreeze at hires as well, bulbs and batteries. But for this kind of material, this is the day.
And it should be obvious to most people why they should take advantage of this, but talk about some of the problems caused by the improper disposal of these things.
The main problem is just it getting in the water supply. People tend to either dump them down their drains or a storm drain, or they just put it in their yard, and eventually some way it finds its way to the river, and that has lasting impacts.
Okay, Stacy, let's talk to you about your event, which is Tire Amnesty Day. You didn't bring any examples, but we'll assume most everybody knows what the tires look like. But tell us about that event.
Sure. This year's Tire Amnesty event will be held on Saturday, October the 1st, and the hours will be from 9 to noon. And we encourage residents to bring in tires. If they're getting ready to switch out their tires or have before winter, want to bring us the old ones. If they've had tires laying around, in the garage, in the shed, in the backyard, we ask that you do make sure that they are clean, free, water-free, debris-free. And it is important for them to do that because the mosquito breed in them.
And just like Toxaway Day, at this point we can't tell you where it's going to be, but that will be publicized later.
Absolutely. We will, 2 weeks prior to the event, we will release it through media and website.
Now, is there a fee involved for this?
Minimal fees do apply. I do want to mention that if neighborhoods associations want to get together and bring in a big load of tires, they do have to register with the district, but it's an easy process and one truckload.
How about tires you won't be taking?
We will not accept any tires that are on rims. So if you have a tire on a rim, hopefully you can visit your tire store and they can remove that for you. Garden tractor tires or semi-truck tires we will not accept. Common tires that we'll take motorcycle tires, bicycle, passenger vehicle, moped.
And one of the good things about this program is not only do you get those tires out of the way and out of people's yards, you're able to recycle these.
Yes, our tire vendor does turn it into a new product, and it goes through a process where it is shredded through machines, and material and metals are pulled from that and recycled. And it can be put into other uses such as playground equipment or hoses or mats. So yeah, there is a second life to it.
And you kind of touched on it a little bit, but again, as we mentioned with Austin, the problems caused by folks just leaving these tires out or disposing of them improperly.
It's known that if you leave one tire, you'll get 5 the next day, and they multiply and just, and they're also a breeding ground for rodents and mosquitoes. And it can help out your community by doing the right thing and bringing it to us.
And again, this is the one day, is that right?
One day, that is correct, and that is Saturday, October 1st.
Hopefully, folks who are watching will take advantage of both of these programs. Great for the environment, great way to get rid of some of this stuff that you've got laying around the house or tires that you have around, and in the case of the tires, can be reused again. Stacy and Austin, thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate it, and hope everyone takes advantage of these two programs. And again, you can check out the Allen County Waste Management District's website to find out more information, and keep an eye and ear out for where these events will be taking place. Finally, on this edition of County Line, we want to tell you about an exciting new way to keep up with what's going on in Allen County government while you're on the go through your iPod Touch, your iPhone, or your iPad. It's a new mobile app that's available through a service called U-Town. You'll be able to keep up with news, events, services, and even maps of different places in Allen County. Let's give you a little idea of what you can find on this. The Maps page allows you to quickly find county buildings, landmarks, parks, libraries, and other locations using the familiar Google Map format. News is the place for keeping up with county government releases, important advisories, and traffic alerts from the Public Information Office. Events keep you informed about meetings, festivals, activities, and holiday closings. And Services is a convenient tool for learning about things such as applying for homestead exemptions, making public records requests, and viewing property record cards online. Now, the U-Town app is available for owners of iPod Touches, iPhones, and iPads. It's available to download for free from the iTunes Store. And by the way, Allen County government is incurring no cost whatsoever to provide this service to you, so we hope you'll give it a try. Speaking of new services through new technology, our video on demand service is available for you if you'd like to watch one of the segments of this program again, or if you'd like to watch any of our other past County Line programs. You can get to it by going to our website, www.allencounty.us, and finding the video on demand link on the front page. We thank you for joining us for this edition of County Line. I'm Mike Green, Allen County Public Information Officer, and we'll see you again next time on County Line.